All right, guys, so we have our add functionality for our post. We have our index, our show details. Now we want to work on the edit. So the edit is going to be kind of similar to the add method in the post controller. So inside the post controller, let's copy the entire add method, which ends right here. So we're going to copy that, and then we're going to paste it right below it, and we're going to just change add to edit. Okay, now edit is going to take in a parameter of an ID because we need to know which one to edit. All right, now before we deal with the processing of the form, the post request, let's go down to the else, where it's just going to load the view and it's going to load edit. Now, one thing about the edit form is we only want it to display if it's the current user's post. We don't want other users to be able to edit them. Now, we made it so that they can't see the button, but they can still go to the link. So we need to handle that in this method, which is very easy. All we have to do is, let's see, we'll go right here in the else. Let's say check for owner. And we can do that by just saying if. Actually, you know what? We have to fetch the post first because right now we don't know which post it is. So let's create a variable here called post and set it to this post model, and let's call get post by ID, which we already have in there, right? We've already used this method. If we look in the model, in the post model, you can see right here, get post by ID, and it just fetches it and it returns it for us. All right, so now that we have that, let's actually put a comment here. We'll get existing post from model, and then the check for the owner, we're going to say if this post that we just got, if its user underscore ID field is equal to, or I'm sorry, is not equal to the session user underscore ID, then we want to redirect. We want to get them out of here. So we're going to say redirect to posts. All right. Now for the data, we need to pass into the edit template or the edit view the current post data. So that's going to include the ID. So we're going to set this to the ID, which is actually passed in as a parameter up here. Okay, so we're passing the ID into the view. The title we can get from the post that we just fetched, and then same thing with the body. All right, so we're getting all that stuff, and then we're passing it into the edit view. So let's save this, and let's create an edit view. So we'll go to views, posts, create a new file called edit.php. And what I'm going to do is copy the add view because it's going to be very similar. Copy that, paste it in, and we'll change this to edit post title. Okay, and then let's see, I don't think there's much we have to change because the data title, data body, that's being passed in right here. So we shouldn't have to change anything really, I don't think. Let's save this and let's test it out. So, whoops. Let's go to post 3. Let's see, what's this? Post line 114. Let's see, controllers post 114. What did I do? We forgot a comma right here. So if I click edit, and there we go. So we can edit post 5. Now, if I were to go to a different post that I don't own, like let's say post 4, it's going to bring me out back to posts because that's not mine. That belongs to the Brad user, and we're logged in as John Doe. All right, if I were to log out and log in as Brad, and I go to John Doe's post, we don't see the edit button. And if I try to edit post 5 by going to the URL, we get booted out. But if I go to post 2 or 1, which are my posts, and I click edit, we can see the edit form. So that's exactly how this should work. Now for the submission, actually we will have to change something in the view. So let's go back to the edit view. Right now it's getting submitted to post/add, and that's not what we want. We want it to go to post/edit / and then the ID, which we can get with PHP echo data ID. All right, and then I don't think there's anything else we need to add, so let's save it. Let's go back to our post controller, and let's work in the other part of the edit method, which is under this if server requests post. So we're going to sanitize the data, that's fine. We're going to add the data from the post. Now we don't need the user ID because that's not gonna change. Actually, no, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it like that. That's fine. And then down here, we're going to validate. That's not going to change. Let's see. We're going to check for errors. If there's no errors, we're going to keep going. Now, we're not going to call add post. We're going to call a method called update post. So let's change that. And that's going to be in the post model. So update post will pass in the data. If everything goes okay, we're going to set a flash message of post message, except we're going to change this to post updated. All right, and then redirect. So this is all good, except down here we want to load post edit. So let's save that. And then we're going to add this update post inside of the post model. So let's go to models, post.php, and we'll go, let's see. This is going to be similar to add post, so I'm going to copy add post and just change it to update post. Takes in the data. Now I'm going to change the query up though. So we'll say query and we'll do update. So update posts set title equal to the named parameter title, body equal to the named parameter body, where ID is equal to the named parameter ID. All right, then we want to bind our values, which are going to be, we don't need the user ID, we just need the regular ID. Okay, user ID is going to stay the same. All right, but we want title. I'm actually going to put the ID first though. Like that. So ID, title, body, then we're going to execute and return either true or false. Good. So let's save it. Let's try it out. So this is post 2. Let's change the body. We'll change the number 2 to the word 2 and submit. We get post updated. And if we look at post 2, that did not work. All right, so let's go back and check our data array for our controller. So let's go to edit. So we have title, body. All right, so the ID is not in here. That's the issue. All right, inside of the model, we're trying to bind, where is it? Right here. We're trying to bind ID to data ID, but there is no data ID. We need to add that here. All right, and that's just going to be equal to the ID, which is the parameter right here. All right, so let's try that. So edit, change this to TWO and submit, and there we go. So now it's updated. All right, so we can now create, read, update. Now we just have to work on delete. So that's what we'll be doing in the next video.